They just got so much health, they don't know what to deal with now. I gotta compete to out-heal my Healbot and the healing bot on my team. Haha, because I got 2 Healbots. What? Hello and welcome. You are gaming with me, Brothgar, and today I have some more Loadout weapon crafting action for you. Now today's weapon build is going to be focusing more on the PvE aspect of it and focusing on survival. So what do I have for you today? Well, today we are building a Healbot. Now this weapon here has actually been used in one of my live streams, if you want to go back and check it out, of a player that was actually using a flak launcher in such a way to keep the whole team alive while we were defending points. Now if you combine that with an older video of mine where I actually go about using a turret as a Healbot, then you can combine the two and find yourself out with, yes, an automated turret that will actually heal you. And the cool thing about turrets is that when they are set up for health, the NPCs like to ignore them, rather than the ones that do damage and they just shoot right at it and kill it instantly. So I don't know how long it's going to last, but this is going to be a pretty good weapon build here. So if we come on over here to the weapon crafting side of things and I take a look at what exactly Healbot is, this is my ideal setup. So there's a couple things you need to know right off the bat. What do you really need? Well, a hex barrel is pretty good. You can run the pentabarrel. You can also run the quad barrel. I would try to keep it to something that has a few more rounds because that's going to allow it to create a area of healing for a longer period of time as opposed to something that is maybe a tube or a heavy. You don't really want to use those too much because you fire it once and then you have to turn around and reload, and you want to be able to keep that health pumping for a long time. So that's where the hexabarrel really comes in here. And when you want to deliver this stuff in a good burst of chunk of health, which is similar to that of maybe a larger round, what you're going to be using is a 3-round burst. So if you do the math, you'll actually find out that you're getting more health out of this setup than you are out of a single barreled launcher. So that's why we run that sort of barrel with this sort of trigger together. Ideally, this is the setup that I would be using. Now, you can also use whatever kind of propulsion you really prefer. Obviously, you're going to get the most out of super slow. The disadvantage of super slow is that they can be shot out of the air and other flak can interrupt them. However, you're shooting it off a turret, so you can really go whatever way you want with that. Obviously, super slow is going to give you the most health, so that's what I'm going to be showing you here. The next thing you're going to want to use is sticky. And why do you want to use sticky? Because if you can set it on the ground, you can come back to it later, kind of like a health pack, and actually get health out of it if you are combining it with proximity. You have to use those two together in order to get that effect. So that's kind of a nice way if you need sort of an emergency backup of health. You can go ahead and place up to 2 full clips on the ground or having 12 active items. So that's one thing to kind of keep in mind. However, if more of them were to stick to ground, the other ones are going to be deleted. I'll show you that real quick here, and then flak for the large area of effect. All right, so here we are in the test field here, and I'm going to be showing you exactly what I mean about having a launcher and having active mines on the field. So this is basically what it is. You're setting up little mines, and these ones are going to be a positive effect because they're actually going to heal you. So there you have it. 3 are down. You can fire off the other 3. Now you have 6 active items out there. You can do this twice more, and there you have it. So there you have 12 items on the ground, 12 mines, areas of health that you can come to get a little bit of a health boost. If you start using more, once those stick to the ground, the other ones are going to start removing. So that's how mines work, and it works that way irregardless of what kind of other effects you have on your weapon. You can only have 12 active items out there. All right, so that is that covered, and that's why I'm using it. Now, proximity here, this is going to provide a lot of health. This is Loadout 4.0, but that's maxing out the health right there. Very easy. If we just fire off 3, you're going to see that health jump up. There you have it. Pretty much maxed out both players there. So when you really think about it, that's a full clip of health, and then you can turn around and get a whole nother full clip of health before you even start reloading. That is a very, very effective healing weapon, and the fact that it creates such a large area of effect. Now let's talk about this turret. There's a very key aspect to this weapon build. You might be wondering why in the world do I have a recon scope on here? Well, the reality is you are going to be firing this weapon from the hip personally. You're not really going to be aiming it down sights. Launchers don't really need to be aimed down sights unless you have laser or you're using a remote controlled or bioscanner. The other stuff, maybe X-ray as well. Those are the only real effective ones when it comes to, scopes. Now, the thing that recon scope does is that it extends the range or the vision of your turret. laser guidance, bioscanner, remote controlled, and X-ray do not do that to the turret. Basically, they really don't do anything except for laser guidance, and remote controlled will create some sort of guidance. And in that reality, laser guidance does more control. Just for a note, you're going to want to write that down. If you want the bullets to follow somebody, put laser guidance on it, but you don't get a lot of range out of it. So, like I said here, iron sights, we're going to start off with that. I'm going to place the turret down, and we're going to find its absolute maximum range. So, I believe this is pretty darn close to it right here. And as you can see, it does have enough range. It's going to start firing off and affecting our teammates over there. Now, one thing that's going on here is these guys are actually getting knocked back, so I'm going to go ahead and push them all the way back, and we'll start this test again. Something you got to keep aware of when you're doing these sort of setups. You got to make sure everything's all nice and even. All right, so right here, we're going to be setting down the turret. And we have just enough range to affect them right there. Place the turret down a little bit farther away, and it is completely lost. So right around here was its maximum range to those players right over there. That's a good range. That's a really good range. Now, one thing you're going to want to keep in mind is as we switch out these different scopes, we're also going to be reducing the width. All right, so if you look right here, that's how short it is. Now, if you turn around and you actually come in here to iron sights, a lot of this information is kind of redundant as if you've been following my channel for a while, but since there are so many people that are jumping into this here recently, I'm just going over it again. This has a wider area of vision as opposed to something that has 3 times optical zoom or the very pointless 5 times optical zoom. But if you want to create a turret that just doesn't see very wide but only looks at one spot and has a long range, see how I mean there? So that's what I'm talking about. So as we jumped back to, sorry, I gotta kill this. As we jumped back to the 3 times zoom, what you're gonna see is that you can actually extend the range all the way up here. So what's going on here? There we are. So this turret actually has the ability to see down here, and it's able to see that player as it's running across there. Now, this is one case where that super slow is not really going to help you out, but that was a pretty good test just to kind of show you what it does. It has a much longer field of vision as far as how far it can see, but not so wide. Now, what does this really do for you? When you're in the PvE aspect of things, you want to make sure that this turret is projected. A lot of grenaders will come in there and start throwing down big area of effect things, and a lot of them will kill your turret. So if you can place that turret far back, then it's going to have a much better chance of survival. So as you can see there, that has a much longer range. Now the recon scope here is ideal in my personal opinion because it's a happy medium between the two. So the limit was right here, and then when we talked about 3 times zoom, we did increase it to here. Obviously it reduced the amount of vision you had, so you're going to have to find that happy medium. Recon scope again, I believe it is the ideal solution, and right around here is its maximum range. So let's head on over to Loadout 5.0 and give this weapon a shot against some PvE objects. Alright, so welcome to Loadout 5.0. This is the same version that you have here on the PlayStation, or very, very similar. I think the menu up here is a little bit different. At any rate here, so if we come into Weaponcrafting, we're going to see Healbot, and I don't necessarily have the ideal components because it's actually really hard to get the components you want in Loadout 5.0 because you got to actually pick them up off the ground. So what I have here is I have a level 10 barrel, and then I also have the 3-round burst, but in this case I'm going to go with the 2-round burst to give myself a little bit more health per round. Now unfortunately I only have a level 1 actual kind of healing slug type as opposed to slug here, so what I'm missing out on is about, well, shoot, that'd be nearly twice as much health out of this bad boy here. But oh well, it's going to be a little bit weak, but this is the best I got to go with, and I could be playing for hours until I get an upgrade of that. So that's what I'm going with. Now in this case, Super Scuttle is going to be really awesome, and one build that you're going to want to try here just for the sake of it is actually being able to do this and then have yourself a very powerful pyro weapon. This will absolutely mow through the enemies in the PvE, and it's going to work real good in PvP as well. It seems like it's almost unbalanced a little bit, so keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Another thing to keep in mind is that my turret is also only level 6, and I'm rolling right in around level 10, so things are going to be a little bit weak when it comes to the health side of things. However, let's give it a shot. Alright, so here we are. Project your junk on spires. That's a very important thing. You're going to want to remember that. And I've been playing like 3 rounds with this guy, and I tell you what, him and I have just been winning a lot. Alright, so here we are. We have to protect our junk, and this is one of those game modes that we're just pretty much not gonna win. But luckily I got a turret here, and it should find some of our teammates and just start providing some help to anybody that's gonna be over here by the junk we gotta protect, which is our mining equipment. Now this would be a very good game mode for that pyro flak launcher. Now of course we're obviously not gonna win this because look at that. We're a couple of peons have already done that much damage to it. Hashtag broken game mode. Hopefully it's better for you guys on the PS4. But we are wrecking face. Now, one thing I can do here is rather than place this turret right here, maybe I should actually place it somewhere else where I can get a little bit more, a better view. Now, I don't know if I got enough range to go all the way back there, but hey, I could give it a shot. This just happens to be one of those areas where you don't have a ton of view. Alright, so they're my highly... Come on. Come on! Come on! Just work. Just work for one... Stupid. Sometimes you gotta make these videos and just nothing works out for you. So come on, let me show you the concept. We know it works in Loadout 4.0. All you gotta do is make it work here in 5.0. So since the bots should pretty much ignore it, all I gotta do is set it somewhere where they're just not even gonna care. How about right here? Right in the middle of nowhere. They're gonna be shooting at this thing anyhow the second they can see it.
A wave of invaders has been defeated.
Woohoo! Gonna give me another item. Hopefully it's a better healing round for my nice launcher here.
Here they come.
But if nothing else, and this turret absolutely does not work out, we can actually just come away with, you know, this being an actual really good healing weapon. As long as you're apparently not healing yourself, you'll actually get more health out of it if you're healing somebody else. There we go. Come on, Grunt. Yeah, eat bullets. And that bot who is also doing healing. Hello! Oh my gosh, are you serious? I gotta stand right in front of it? Alright, so welcome to the video where nothing really just goes right. But I've tried to record it so many times now to where you're just gonna see it and you're gonna have to kind of trust me that it might work sometimes. I mean, you know, sometimes you just gotta take the word for it and then not have any evidence to back it up. Maybe if we try over here where it's not on a random little ledge, it'll actually try to heal somebody. Please? Please? It was just a terrible idea. Well, I know I'm not hurt, so it's not gonna heal me unless I'm hurt. So somebody shoot me with a round. Yeah. Oh, and then I get a health pack. Yeah, see, alright, there he goes. TX Game Pro right there is going to be getting some nice health. Thank you. Thank you for making me believe in what you truly are, turret. You are a Healbot. You're just pretty good at letting me down. That's about it. But if you think about this, if you have a turret and you don't need the offensive damage, which it works absolutely awesome with this in PvP, this is a pretty good setup. And yeah, see, there we go. Now it's constantly providing health to that bot. And look at that. He's got a nice big boost to his health. So, there we go. It is actually finally doing what I thought it was going to do. And I'm probably going to lose the junk that I got to protect here unless I can get my teammates over here. Come on! No! Don't kill my thumper thing. Please don't kill my thumper. I just want to win this game mode once. Just once. Please. Please. Now watch. A tank's going to roll in right at the end. Which if you've never seen one of those yet, you'll know it when you see it. Because they're huge. And take a long time to kill. And they pretty much just crush this thing without question. There we go. Get out of here, elite grunt. Elbows of justice. My most powerful weapon right now. Bam! What up, peon? You thought you could take this thing out? Oh, you gotta be careful meleeing these bots, though, because they can turn around and smack you for a good one. Aw, crap! They're all coming on the other side now. Now we got a brawler up in here. Well, you can just keep slashing away at that. You have a pretty slow... time to reach... No! I don't even know what the... I just got twerked by a grunt. How's your day going? Hopefully it's going better than mine. By the way, it should be Christmas Eve when you're actually seeing this video if I upload it on the day I think I'm going to upload it. So, Merry Christmas to you, and if you do not celebrate Christmas, Happy Holidays. Whatever you do. Look at this. Alright, see now this has proven my point. Nobody cares about the Healbot over here. What's it doing? It's just helping my teammate. Now, of course, I gotta, like... They just got so much help, they don't know what to deal with now. I gotta compete to out-heal my Healbot and the healing bot on my team. Haha, because I got 2 Healbots. What? I'm pretty much out of, like, useful things to say at this point, so... Yeah! Revenge! How you like it? Ooh, another item. I love hearing that sound. I'm glad that they actually put that sound in the game, because that just reminds me of, like... Man, it's gonna call it Moo Online. If there's anybody out there that has actually played Moo Online, let me know. MU Online, because that's like where my online gaming began. Well, it actually began with Mech Warrior 3. I was on dial-up. That was fun. Right in the middle of a match, your mom picks up the phone and you get disconnected. You know, if you never had to live in a world where there is dial-up, I feel a little bit jealous of you. You and your cable all the time. High-speed internet. Never knew what it was like to be slow. Never knew what it was like to actually put a blanket over your computer just to try to sneak onto it in the middle of the night when you're supposed to be in bed. It's because it made a lot of noise. Yeah, the internet used to make tons of noise. Did it just crush that? No, it didn't.
Ready or not.
Alright, so, as we can see here, the turret's doing well, and it's actually healing me for a very small amount. And we're actually maybe gonna survive this mode? If we can get a couple more elbows in here. Make it work out. One useful thing, though, is that this turret is helping my teammates stay alive. Not helping me stay alive, but my teammates. Maybe it gives my healing bot on my team more time to heal me. Oh, crap. Another elite. That's pretty much game over. And now I'm dead. Brawler cut my face off.
Your Falcor has seen better days.
I know it has.
Destruction is imminent.
This one, at least. No! Stop killing it. Oh, I thought I had my health weapon out. No! Die! I really want to win this. Come on, please, 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 please. Arrgh! Get out of here, grunt. Oh, no, the elite. That guy's going to destroy this thing. No, focus on me. Focus on me. I'm over here. I'm over here. I'm over here. I'm over here. Please, come on. Get this one. This is close. This is real close. Oh, look at this. They're just bringing in more? How in the world are you actually supposed to win this game mode? I mean, unless you got some OP weapons, which means you pretty much never leveled up in PvE. You just decided, level 10 is good. I'm going to stay here forever.
You have failed.
Well, that was to be expected. So hopefully that Healbot thing has inspired you to think of other things you can stick on turrets, and it's been fairly informative. So if you liked the video, maybe leave a like on that way out. Hey, and let me know what else you're using turrets for. Also, I did a review here that I'm going to be uploading after this one very shortly after it on grenades. Now, personally, I'm not going to be doing it on its own day because I think it was a little bit boring. But at any rate, you're going to be seeing that, and you'll know what grenade to bring into the game, and it's informative as well. As always, guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this content, maybe hit that subscribe button on the way out. And an even better way to connect with me is to follow me on one of my many social medias. Google Plus is a definite plus. Ha ha. Thanks for watching and have a great day. Peace. Brothgar out.